All right, folks, give me a second here. I'm just getting set up here. Running about 3 minutes late, and we will get this thing popping right here. First off, I would like to thank everybody for, whoever checks in or is about to check in. Thanks for checking in first and foremost. And okay, so we are Facebook Live right now. Now, give me 1 second here. Okay, I'm just making sure everything is good to go, and looks like everything is up and running. Okay. I am going to have two of my guys that I work with. They're currently preparing for the officer aptitude rating for the United States Navy. If you're in the Marine Corps, you will be taking this test too if you're going to be a Marine officer candidate. I'm also going to be answering questions pertaining to the aviation selection test battery for anybody that is interested. And I just have to figure out okay. Awesome. Okay. Anthony has checked in. Very good. Now, I'm also broadcasting on YouTube as well. If you are not on the Facebook side of things, you will not be able to see the questions. So I encourage you guys to come on over. And I am posting the link. If you are here on Facebook, you can on YouTube, you can just click the link and it will bring you over to where you can see the questions. All right. So if you do come on Facebook, I will not see your questions. All right. If you come to the Facebook, you can drop questions on my line, and we'll get started here momentarily. All right. Posts. And I saw a post earlier from someone, and I'm trying to hunt it down. It came from Michael Taylor. There we go. All right, so he dropped a question, and it is on the post line. If you guys cannot see it, let me know. I'll repost it actually, just in case. Actually, I need more. There we go. So I have two of my guys in the room already, and pull this out and over. And I need to pull this out. Flat down, drop U. And I need this, this, and one more, guys. Okay, I have all my windows. All right, so there's one guy missing. Okay, so we can go ahead and start dropping questions, or you guys can comment. I'm looking for, and I don't know why I can't find it, but no worries, I'll get to it. This weekly thing that we do is for Navy ROTC candidates and officer candidate school candidates for the United States Navy and the Marine Corps. If you guys have questions, basically what you do is you get your test prep book and you find questions that you don't understand, you can't figure out, and basically I solve the problems for you here. So if we go to my post page, you can see the questions that are posted, and looks like Mike is here. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And let's find that question again. I know I just pulled it. There we go. Edit, copy, and posting. Okay, so if you're on the STEMwithKieno.com page and you go to the post, it is the latest post. Hey, Jonathan drove for 12 hours at an average speed of 55 miles per hour. If his car covered 22 miles for each gallon of gas consumed, how many gallons of gas did he use? Our answers are 32 gallons, 34 gallons, 36 gallons, 30 gallons, and 28 gallons. Very good. So the technique that I use, and Anthony and Darren can confirm this because they work with me. Line by line and diagram, line by line and diagram. So the situation is he drove 12 hours at an average speed of 55 miles per hour. Okay. Now, first we need to find the distance. Distance equals the rate times time. All right. So 12 hours times 55, you guys can chime in if you like. And again, if you are on YouTube, you need to follow me on STEMwithKieno.com if you'd like to see the questions and the multiple choice answers. The link I dropped on the This is the first link in the chat, and you guys can see it. All right. So first off, we need to find the distance that we covered, because we're gonna get 22 miles for every gallon of gas consumed. So if you guys want to enter your time, you guys can do that. But distance equals rate times time. The rate is 55 miles per hour times 12 hours. All right, 10, 11, 0, 5, 5. So we cover 660 miles. All right, we cover 660 miles. All right. Now, I can already see that it's probably D. But I'm going to work it all the way through. But at this point, I'll probably select D and move on. In a lot of cases, you don't need to take these questions all the way out. All right, so we established that we traveled 660 miles. All right, now it's saying we traveled 22 miles for each gallon of gas consumed. All right, so we have 660 miles. All right, if we want to know gallons of gas, or gallons consumed, is going to be a product of miles per gallon. So we're going to get 1 gallon is going to get us 22 miles. All right, so if we consumed miles, 660. So we have a proportion. So this times this 660 divided by this is going to give us our yield, which is 30 gallons of fuel. And I called it out because I saw it. All right, so delta is the answer. And Mike, if you would go to your answer key, wherever you found this question, and confirm that delta is the answer, I'd appreciate it. If not, somebody go ahead and post a second question. But that's the one that fits. Or if you hit that post, just hit a like on that post to confirm. All right. Most of the issues that a lot of people have in preparing for the aviation selection test battery and the officer aptitude rating, and again, if you're going to be a naval flight officer or pilot, you're going to take the full aviation selection test battery. If you're going for surface warfare officer, you're just going to take the officer aptitude rating, which is the reading comprehension, mechanical comprehension, and math comprehension. But the thing is that it's still part of the full ASTB-E, so you're going to have your math game tight. And most people, if their math isn't tight, their mechanical is probably going to suffer. And practice, that's the only way you guys are going to get through this. And if you guys have questions, you can come here and post them for free, and I will answer them like I just did for Mike. And again, if you are on YouTube, you need to come over to the Facebook side of things and follow me here so you can actually see the questions and multiple choice answers. All right. Okay. Anthony hit us with a like. That's what's up. All righty. So, Mike, if you have more, drop them. I'll keep knocking them down, brother. All right. So, I'm going to throw something in the game. A lot of people have issues with distance, rate, and time problems. Okay, hold on. Somebody just shot me. I am monitoring. DC, that's fine. I'll post my Gmail account, and you can go ahead and you can shoot the question there. All right. If you send a question there, I will solve it for you. And thanks for checking in. So again, we're here every week. Mike, if you have more, drop more. Anthony, Darren, you guys want to drop questions, ask questions, anything aviation related, I'm more than happy to answer. And I guess I'm still monitoring both, but to get the full breadth of what we're trying to do here, Facebook is what we're advertising on. So I am going to I have two superstars, man. All right. Okay, I just got an email. And let's see. And I'm dropping it on the post. And my two superstars are going to knock this out the box. Should have dropped. Okay, I double posted. It's all good. Okay, the question states, Ryan left the Science Museum and drove south. Gabriella left 3 hours later, driving 42 kilometers per hour faster in an effort to catch up to him. After 2 hours, Gabriella finally caught up, and they're asking us to find Ryan's average speed. So I'm going to put Darren and Anthony on the hook. What type of distance, rate, and time problem is this? Type it in the post. I'm waiting. There's a little bit of lag here, I'm sure. Delayed departure. Darren, good job. Delayed departure. And the formula for the delayed departure, you can type that in if you want, Darren. So the delayed departure. A delayed departure is a question where one vehicle leaves and then another vehicle leaves after it. All right. So the formula for the delayed departure is RT equals RT. All right, RT equals RT. So the rate and time of the first vehicle that left equals the rate times time that the second vehicle left. And basically we're saying distance equals distance because distance equals rate times time, but don't get caught up in that because I don't want to confuse you. So back to the question. All right, so the first thing we want to do is identify the rates. All right. Find Ryan's average speed. Obviously that is unknown. He leaves first, so he's going to be X. Gabriella, her rate is going to be x plus 42 because she leaves 42 miles an hour faster in order to catch him. All right. Now, after Gabriella, after 2 hours, Gabriella finally caught up. So Gabriella traveled 2 hours. So notice how we have our formula and we have rate times time, rate times time. So the rate is x here. Now, can anybody type in how long had Ryan been driving? Because that's key. You've got to pull it out of the information. And word problems are the toughest problems because we have to read and then we have to pull the information out. So Ryan has been driving for 5 hours, Gabriella for 2. Can everybody see that? And on my Facebook, people, you can comment on the Facebook. You just can't see the questions, and that's fine. Some people have issues with their Facebook accounts, and that's fine. All right, so now what we need to do is make this algebraically friendly. All right, so 5x equals 2 times x plus 42. All right, and then what we need to do is distribute. Okay, so 5x equals 2x plus 84. Now, in math, a lot of people teach, oh, well, subtract 2x from both sides. I don't look at it this way. I say that the 2 floats to the other side of the equal sign and then changes its sign. So 5x minus 2x equals 84. And that would be 3x because 5x minus 2x is 3x equals 84. And then we will come here and we will divide 84 by 3 to find our answer x. 3 goes into 8 2 times. Drop to 6. And long division is not going anywhere. You have to be able to calculate by hand. You will not be able to use the calculator on the test. So 8 minus 3 times 2 is 6. We subtract 6, we get a 2. Then the 4 drops. And 3 goes into 24 8 times. And that closes it all out. So x is equal to 28. So the answer to our question is 28 kilometers per hour. Now for bonus, how fast was Gabriella traveling? Type that in the chat, either chat. If she's driving 42 kilometers per hour faster in an effort to catch up, how fast was Gabriella traveling? Come on, somebody comment. That'd be 28 plus 42, which is 70 kilometers per hour. All right. And DC, I'm checking my email. I see other emails that have come in. I don't see yours. And just in a note, just say questions from DC. You can put that in the subject box. All right. Oh, that's cool. We got a mechanical comprehension, actually a physics problem. They're asking how much work was done. Okay, in this question. All right. What a lot of people don't understand about the mechanical comprehension test is that even though there's pulleys and gears and stuff like that, they kind of lean to the area of kinematics, which is kind of like the mechanics side of physics. And so the work formula is work equals force times displacement. Now, work is always measured in joules, force always in newtons, and displacement in meters in this case, because we're using the international system, which is the metric system. So work is equal to force times displacement. And the question is, how much work was done to move a 50 kilogram object? All right, so work equals force times displacement. All right, so we're moving a 50 kilogram object. Two meters per second squared. That's the acceleration. Now, the thing of it is we got to figure out what force is. Well, Sir Isaac Newton's second law of motion is force equals mass times acceleration. All right, so we have our mass and we have our acceleration. And in this question, the 50 kilogram object is moved 10 meters. So I'll put that for D, for displacement. All right. So the way that this question is worded, you have to figure out the force that's being used, because they're asking how much force is needed to move a 50 kilogram object accelerated 2 meters per second squared acceleration, a distance of 10 meters. So what we do is we figure out our force, because they didn't give us a force in this question in newtons. 50 times 2 mass times acceleration is 100 newtons. That's what force is. Now that we have our 100 newtons, we can figure out work, which is force times displacement. The force is 100 newtons, and the displacement is 10 meters. So 1 times 1 is 1, and then you just 1, 2, 3 zeros. So 1,000 joules. 1,000 joules, not joules like you wear around your neck, but joules. All right. All righty. All right, DC. Looks like your email came in. Okay, solve for X and the following inequality. All right, I'm going to post this on the Facebook. Inequalities are very similar to just regular equations. You'll just have instead of an equal sign, you'll have a greater than or less than sign. But you treat it like it's you'll treat it like it is a equal sign there. All right. Okay, posting for you guys to see the actual question and the multiple choice answers on Facebook. All right. So the page is kind of split, but it's saying solve for the following inequality. All right. Now, 4x plus 23 is greater than negative 3x minus 6. And I think the question that he wanted to know in here is, I don't want to misquote him, when do you flip the sign and know how to do the math part? Oh, I know how to do the math part. Well, you flip the sign when you're dividing by negative, when you're dividing by a negative number. That's normally when you would flip the sign. All right. So let's just jump in. You just treat it like that's an equal sign. That's all. We have to combine like terms. So 3x, this is what I call the variable strong side. So the negative 3x is going to come to this side because 4 is stronger. We're always solving for the positive version of the variable. So if I threw the 4 over there, the 4 would be negative, it'd be negative 7x. Now, you could still do it, but everything would have to be multiplied by negative 1. So let's bring the 3 over there, it will just be x. It's greater than 23. Could it be that easy? Or let me make sure I'm reading this question right. Because I'm like, it just looks like 4x plus 23 equals 3x. And DC, you got to watch these guides because I've seen this before, and there's a lot of mistakes. And there's a couple mistakes in this guide, or I won't call them mistakes, but typing errors. Because if 3 comes to the other side and becomes positive, okay, it's negative 3. It comes over and it's 7x because it jumps this side and it becomes positive, so that's 7x. 23 will go to the other side and become negative, so it'll be negative 29. All right. And so we divide both sides by 7. So our x is going to come up as a negative value because a positive times a negative. When we get a negative number, that's when 94, and just let me make sure I confirm. 94. Because I don't want to give you guys bad information. Okay, so the inside is not okay. So yeah, it just stays the same. If there was a negative, I think if this was negative, then it flips. But this is actually when we divide both sides, and x is actually going to be equal to 4.14, or negative, because a positive times a negative produces a negative. And like I said, you treat this like an equal sign. I even wrote an equal sign. So x is equal to negative 4.14. All right. Anthony and Darren, you guys can drop questions on the Skype because you guys are already connected to me there. And it's probably the easiest way. But you did not need to flip that. You didn't need to flip that. In the right triangle. In the right triangle below, what does y equal? Okay, Michael, they didn't give you a diagram or anything that you can either post or send to my I mean, verbally, I see what you're typing in. All right. In the right triangle, I have to see the right triangle. All right. So drop that on the post, and we'll see if we can't get you squared away with that. And then, just so you know, questions like 104, you won't see that on the test. Just so you know, FYI. Okay. This is a beast. I get this question asked a lot, and there's actually different forms of this. And Anthony, we were connected earlier, and you actually had a different version of this question. but I'm going to put it in a post anyway. It'd be nice if I could just like, no, they won't. They don't let it. They won't let me do it like that. They definitely want me to put it on the post. Okay, so I'm posting this, and I think I can actually. I don't know if I can. I'm gonna see if I can't drop this on YouTube as well. I should be able to. Just saw you. All right. Okay. Yep, I can copy it. Okay, copy. All right, all my YouTube people. This question is dropping. Boom. Okay. And they have a maximum of a certain amount of characters, so you'll see this in 2 parts. All right. So you see the question, and I will verbally call out the answers if you guys don't see the post on Facebook. All right. All right. And it's dropping now on the Facebook post. Okay. In the 3-hour examination of 320 questions, Anthony, I believe yours was 420 questions. There are 40 math problems, Anthony. Ours were 60 math problems. If twice as much time should be allowed for each mathematics problem as for the other questions, how many minutes should be spent on math problems? Now, there's a type of problem that I call a word problem, working together. It's just like if Anthony eats a slice of pizza in 5 minutes and then I eat a slice of pizza in 2 minutes equals 1. How long would it take us to both to eat one slice? Okay. So this is kind of like that setup. It's very similar. It's not identical, but it's similar. So it's going to kind of look like that. So first off, we need to know how many minutes are in a 3-hour examination. There are 180 minutes in a 3-hour examination. So we have 180 minutes. We have 320 questions. And I'll just put QS. Now, 40 of these are math problems. So that means 280, I'll put an R for regular, and then that means that 40 of these are math problems. Okay, so we broke down the number of minutes, and we have our breakdown of problems. All right, so it's like the time allotted for regular questions plus the time allotted for math problems equals the total number of minutes. Okay, so here we go. We're going to say the time is the unknown, so it would be X. Now, half the time is going to be allotted for regular questions, and the whole time in minutes is going to be allotted for math problems. And actually, I should have brought that over just a little bit. All right, so 280 regular questions, half the time is allotted, plus 40 and the whole time, and that's going to be divided amongst 180 minutes. Okay. Now, the first thing we need to do is we have to look at this number. If we see a fraction, we have to think of this as a fraction. So 280 over 1 times x over 2 will give us 280x over 2, which is going to equal 140x. 280x divided by 2 is going to have it. So it's 140x. All right. So we put that there, 140x. And 40 times x is just 40x. So now we're going to combine like terms. 140 plus 40 equals 180. So that's going to be 180x. And x obviously going to be equal to 1. All right. So now, half the time x over 2, we're going to allow 30 seconds. It's 1 minute. We're going to have 30 seconds for regular problems. And we're going to have a whole minute, 60 seconds for math problems. So how much time is going to be allotted for math problems is 40 times x, which is going to be 40 minutes for math problems. And DC, if you understood that, just type in understood or 1. It would be great. And just for the record, that is, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Facebook. And just for the record, let me go to my posts. I banged that window. I've been like really itchy with the trigger finger or my mouse finger. All right. So that is answer A, DC. That's answer A. Good job. Good job. Thank you, DC. All right. Couldn't copy and paste it. It is in the document. Is it in that OAR math guide, Mike? Tiana, how you doing? Welcome, Tiana. And all my people in YouTube, if you would, just check in, say hello, ask questions. Looks like DC's the only active one in here on the YouTube side of things. But don't be afraid to check in. I don't bite. Tiana, any questions? Let me know. Anything like, okay, I hate fractions. I hate square roots. I hate exponents. Is there anything that you have issues with math mechanically? All right. Who's in there? Okay, posting a conversion. You guys are gonna have to be pretty decent at conversions because the questions can be potentially asked of you. All right, so I'm dropping it on the Facebook live session now. And everybody can see it if they're linked up with me there. Okay. I will verbally read it. It's not that long of a sentence. It takes a runner 9 seconds to run a distance of 132 feet. What is the runner speed in miles per hour? Our answer selections are 5, 10, 12, 15, and 16. So it takes a runner 9 seconds to run a distance of 132 feet. What is the runner speed in miles per hour? And they have a little side note. 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. Conversions are not that bad. They require a little bit of multiplication on your part, but they're really not that bad. So what they've given you is a standard. It takes a runner 9 seconds to run 132 feet, which is a rate. Rate is distance divided by time. All right. Because ultimately what we're going to have to do is find miles per hour or miles divided by an hour. So the standard that they gave us, you're going to write it down. You're going to write distance over time. So 132 feet over 9 seconds. And we're going to have to convert. Now, what's going to happen is things need to crisscross, which means if I have 9 seconds on the bottom, I'm going to need to categorize not seconds up top and feet on the bottom. All right, because I have to keep it where it cancels out, and I'll show you what I mean. So anybody can chime in. We're gonna have miles per hour or miles over hour. So 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet, and they gave you that and the side note in the question. And in 1 hour, there are 360 seconds. So 3600 SEC for seconds and 1 hour. What I meant by the crisscross, if feet on the top, we gotta have feet on the bottom to cancel out. And seconds are gonna cancel out seconds. So we're only left with miles over hours because that's what we're looking for, miles per hour. So feet cancel out feet and seconds cancel out seconds. And all we need to do is multiply directly across. With fractions, we multiply all the numerators by all the denominators. Luckily, we have ones in there. So it's not like a whole different number that we have to calculate. And now I'm going to show you guys a little way to shorten up your math. All right, most people for the top would multiply 3600 times 132. The 1, we don't even have to include that because whatever this result is times 1 will be the result. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to multiply 132 times 36, and then I'm going to add the 2 zeros to my answer. You can do that. All right. So I would rather deal with this than to deal with all these numbers. 6 times 2 is 12, carry the 1. 19, carry the 1. 7. All right, put in our filler 0. Don't put it under here because those are the 2 zeros we're going to add later. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. And 3 times 1 is 3. All right, now we can bring in our 15, 17, 4, 7, 5, 2, 0, 0. So our answer is, for the top of the numerator side of things, 475,200. When we multiply the bottom, 5,280 times 9. I might have said divide, but I might multiply. Again, I'm not going to say 5280 times 9. I'm going to say 528 times 9 and then add the 0 to my answer. So you can shorten up your questions like that, like I did there. 9 times 8 is 72, carry the 7. 18, 2, 5, 2, 45, 46, 47, 4, 7. So 47520. Now, what's the difference between those two numbers? Just a 0 added. So this times something is equal to 475,200, just one more extra 0. The only way that can be accomplished is multiplying by 10. Anytime you multiply something by 10, you're just going to add a 0 to your answer. That's all you're going to do. So the result is going to be 10 miles per hour, and you guys may not be able to see that, but the result is 10 miles per hour. I'm not sure if the camera's catching the edge there. All right. DC, type in 1 if you followed me. And if you didn't, what I recommend is when you replay this, let it play, stop. You see me make a move, make a step, stop, think about it. Okay, well, what was he doing? Then unpause it, let it run for a couple seconds. But basically, what I do, line by line, and diagram for word problems. I read a sentence, I diagram it. I read a sentence, I'll diagram it. So that was a really, really good question. That was a really good question. All right, 1, 2, 3. Good job, TC. All right. This hour goes by so fast. I'm gonna we don't do enough distance rate and time problems. Distance rate and time problems are actually the easiest when you know what to do. And if you're presented with them on the test and you can't solve them, it's really like throwing points away. It really is. If you follow me on YouTube, you can just type in Kieno distance rate and time problems, and it's a really, really good video. All right, I'm gonna do one here. Because what I try to do is I try to get, like, just every session that we do this, I try to get in different questions, different types of questions. While I wait, for you guys to get the most out of this, bring questions. When you're going through your test prep booklets, I know there are things in there that you don't understand. And I mean, even on the YouTube side, even if you're not on the Facebook side, you can just send them to my email as an image, and I can post it on for my Facebook people. But everybody, can get a chance to see it, and All right. So yeah, it's like 4 minutes left. All right. At 12 noon, 2 vessels started sailing towards each other from ports that were 450 miles apart. So that is what I call a closure problem or compression problem. They travel at average rates of 22 and 28 miles per hour respectively. How many miles apart will the vessels be at 8 p.m.? Okay, so this is what I would call, it's like a simple distance rate and time, but you have a closure rate. Instead of one guy going in a certain direction, you are taking the total speed of both vehicles coming towards each other. So, like the question said, line by line, at 12 o'clock, so at 12 noon, these 2 vehicles are 450 miles apart. Vehicle A, vehicle B. All right. Distance, rate, and time is what we're going to use to solve it. So, they are 450 miles apart. Equals rate times time. They want to know how far they're going to be apart by 8 p.m. So from 12 noon to 8 p.m. is 8 hours. All right. So we have to consider or calculate the time that these 2 ships or vehicles are going to consume or come close in on each other. Now it says their rates are 22 and 28 miles per hour. So vehicle A is 22. This vehicle's 28 miles per hour. You add the 2 rates, all right, which is 50. 22 plus 28 is 50. So their closure rate, the rate that they're closing in on each other, is 50 miles per hour. All right. So we want to figure out, because 450 is not it. All right, so 8 times 4 is 40, and then you just add the 0. 8 times 5 is 40, and then you add that 0. So they will have covered 40 miles, which means that they have 50 miles remaining after 8 hours of travel. Okay. So on the YouTube side, please like the video if you learned something today. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, I will be here every week whether you support the channel or not, but you can support the channel if you like by going to stemwithkieno.com, and that's channel support if you would like to. You don't have to, it's not necessary. My primary audience on Fridays are aviation officer candidates and officer candidates for the United States Navy and the United States Marine Corps. I'm not really sure if the Coast Guard, but I'm pretty sure they may have to take the aviation selection test battery or the officer aptitude rating as well. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Everybody fact checks now. But I believe they do. And if you guys are Coast Guard officer candidates, feel free to check in with me 5 to 6 every Friday. Actually, tomorrow will be for the United States Army helicopter aviators, not just the warrant officer candidates, but also the Army Reserve Officer Training Corps at the colleges, the college level ROTC, because high school is junior ROTC. And feel free, if you're on the Facebook side of things, if you want to paste okay. Okay. If you want to post questions throughout the week that you run into, you can post them on my Facebook post page. Let me see here. Just making sure everybody gets addressed here. All right. Michael, it was good to see you. Darren, it was good to see you. Tiana, it was good to see you. It's good to see everybody, but I'm just trying to make sure I give everybody that checked in a shout out. DC, it was good to see you on the YouTube side. And there's other people in on the YouTube side, but they really didn't ask any questions, so I guess they're just observing and just watching, which is okay. It's totally all right with me. Hit the like button, though. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit the like button. So it is 6 o'clock, guys. I'm Kieno with STEMWithKieno.com. If you're not subscribed to me on YouTube, please subscribe to me. If you're not following me on YouTube, please follow and like the STEMWithKieno.com page. I guess that's all I have, guys. Thanks for coming out. Have a great day and be safe, and I will see you guys next Friday at 1700 Eastern. And if you guys are in ROTC units or aviation officer candidate units, feel free to give my information to your recruiter. Let them know, because there may be people that are having issues with this test and they could use my help. Again, I'm Kieno with STEMWithKieno.com. Peace.